If gratitude really worked, the happiest people on earth would be the ones with the least. But that is not what we see. What we see is exhausted people being told to smile harder while nothing actually improves. Gratitude is sold as wisdom, as maturity, as the key to peace. You are told that if you just focus on what you have, you will stop feeling angry, jealous, hopeless, or tired of this world. But for a lot of people, gratitude is not healing. It is silencing. It is a tool that keeps you quiet, compliant, and blaming yourself instead of questioning the system you are stuck in. This video is not about being ungrateful or spoiled. It is about how forced gratitude is used to shut down valid suffering and turn structural problems into personal mindset failures. Let's talk about why gratitude is often a scam. First example, gratitude is used to stop you from complaining about conditions that are genuinely bad. People say things like, "At least you have a job," "At least you are alive," "At least someone has it worse." That sounds reasonable until you realize what it actually does. It reframes unacceptable conditions as things you should be thankful for. Low wages, long hours, no health care, no time, no future. You are told to be grateful you are not homeless, grateful you are not starving, grateful you even get to participate. That is not gratitude. That is fear conditioning. It trains you to compare your pain only to worse pain, never to what is fair or humane. It makes you feel lucky that at least you got it better than someone else, that the God who is supposed to love us all equally gave you more love than someone else, that you were able to one-up someone else. Gratitude teaches you to lower your standards instead of questioning why the baseline is so low in the first place. If someone locked you in a small room and said at least it is not a closet, you would still be locked in a room. Gratitude does not change the cage. It just makes you decorate it. Second example, gratitude turns systemic failure into personal failure. When gratitude culture is pushed hard, especially online, it usually comes with an unspoken message. What they tell you is that if you are unhappy, you are doing gratitude wrong. You see this everywhere. People say things like happiness is a choice, mindset is everything, be thankful and abundance will follow. So when your life does not improve, you do not blame the economy, the job market, the housing crisis, politicians, corporations, billionaires, or the social structure. You blame yourself. You think maybe you are negative, maybe you are ungrateful, maybe you are broken. This is extremely convenient for a world that does not want to fix anything. Instead of asking why rent eats half your income, you are told to write a gratitude list. Instead of asking why you are burned out, you are told to practice appreciation. Instead of asking why life feels impossible, you are told to change your attitude. Gratitude becomes emotional gaslighting. It tells you that your distress is not a response to reality, but a flaw in your thinking. Third example, gratitude keeps people passive instead of angry enough to demand change. Anger has a bad reputation, but anger is often the correct response to injustice. Anger is what tells you something is wrong. Anger is what fuels boundaries, resistance, and change. Gratitude culture often treats anger as a moral failure. If you are angry, you are told you are bitter, negative, toxic, or stuck in victimhood. The solution offered is always the same, and that's be grateful instead. But gratitude without power is submission. When people are constantly told to be thankful, they are less likely to protest, organize, quit, demand better treatment, or challenge authority. They internalize the idea that wanting more is greedy or entitled. This is especially true for people who grew up with instability. They are told to be grateful for scraps because they know what it is like to have nothing. That makes them easy to exploit. A grateful workforce is a quiet workforce. A grateful population is a compliant one. Now let's be clear, there is a difference between organic gratitude and forced gratitude. Organic gratitude happens naturally when your needs are met, when you feel safe, when your life has breathing room, when you experience kindness that is not conditional. Forced gratitude is imposed from the outside. It shows up when you are struggling. It is usually said by someone who is not dealing with your reality. Being told to be grateful while you are drowning does not pull you out of the water. It just makes you feel guilty for panicking. A lot of people sense this intuitively. That is why gratitude exercises feel hollow or even irritating. You are not ungrateful. You are aware that something is deeply off. Gratitude is often used as a spiritual bypass. Instead of addressing pain, it jumps straight to acceptance. Instead of validating anger, it rushes toward positivity. Instead of fixing the problem, it tells you to cope better. And coping is not the same as living. This is why so many people feel relief when they stop forcing gratitude. They finally allow themselves to say, this is not okay. This hurts. This is unfair. This is exhausting. That honesty is not toxic. It is grounding. You cannot think your way out of structural problems. You cannot gratitude your way out of poverty, loneliness, chronic stress, or an unstable world. And being told that you should makes people feel insane. The world is hard right now. And for many people, it is not just hard. It is hostile. Pretending otherwise does not make you enlightened. It makes you disconnected from reality. Real healing starts with truth, not thankfulness. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to be angry. You are allowed to say this system is broken. You are allowed to refuse gratitude as a substitute for justice, security, or dignity. If gratitude ever helps you, let it be something you feel, not something you are forced to perform. And if this perspective resonated with you, stick around. This channel is about saying the quiet part out loud, questioning popular self-help narratives, and making sense of a world that often feels designed to wear you down. Subscribe if you are done pretending everything is fine.